right, it's Monday, October 17th, and I just arrived into Manila from Ho Chi Minh, and came in on Philippine Airlines. Got business meetings, but first time I've been in the Philippines. So first impressions, they could really use some re-engineering. Hate to be critical, but think about moving the ATM on arrival, or at least have an ATM on arrival. You got to go all the way upstairs, recheck your bags, just to go into departure area, recheck your bags just to go and get to an ATM. So note to whoever's in charge of ATMs, you could probably double your revenue by putting a unit downstairs on arrival. So us folks that are new can can use the ATM. At either rate, what is it, probably about 85 degrees, rainy, a little humid, but it's not bad. The people are nice, and infrastructure is kind of interesting. Been a while since I've seen the trains with the electricity feeding it at the top there. So kind of interesting. So I'm staying at the Marco Polo over on Ortegas. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I got to go to Bataan. You've all heard of that, Bataan, the Bataan Death March. What was it, 85, 90 miles these folks had to walk? Japanese made them walk. I say these folks, Philippine and U.S. prisoners. So I've got to go to Bataan for audits and meet with some T2s. But we'll tackle that later this week. But yeah, interesting. Like I say, the people are really nice, really considerate. Catholic foundation here, which I kind of like. I like the tropical weather, which is nice. Airport, not all that impressive, but you know what? It's an airport, so it is what it is. What am I paying? 680 Filipino, whatever they call the currency. I'll have to take a look. 640 to the hotel. So what is that? Like a little over, I think that's a little over $10. I think. Maybe $12, something like that. So that's a pretty good deal. Flat rate, big van. Masks are used predominantly here. So there's still much more than Vietnam. Definitely much more than Thailand. But yeah, it's we're going through a tunnel here. So COVID is still pretty alive and well here. So I got my mask on out of precaution, and you know what? First impressions, it's fine. You know what? Never judge a book by its cover. So we'll have to. We're keeping an open mind, and I'm sure it's a nice place. I can tell you, it was interesting coming in, and maybe it's just the flight pattern, but boy, it looked pretty poor, to say the least. Prices here are very like to eat by expat standards, foreigner standards, which really isn't fair, and I'm almost ashamed to say it, but it's extremely reasonable. I was looking at dinners and this and that, and you get a pretty good meal here for $10, to say the least. $15-20, you're eating like a king. In fact, I don't know if you could spend that unless you go to a big buffet or 5-star deal. Even the Sofitel's got one of the nicest dinner buffets, and I was just looking. I'm not into buffets, but what is it like? I think it's like $60, which that includes booze, lobster. If you're into that, I'm not. That's the last thing I need is buffet. But yeah. So first impressions. I always knew the people were nice, and it was just accentuated even more at the airport. So yeah, pretty interesting. I do like the Catholic bent here. That's for sure. I like that a lot. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. First impressions, Manila. Predominantly staying in Manila. Got to drive all the way to Bataan. 3 hours. Get up at 5 in the morning and go. And that'll be an interesting drive. I'd love to spend time out. If I were younger, much younger, like 40 years younger, I'd probably think about biking that Bataan Death March area if you can do it, just to say A, that I did it, and B, just to sort of appreciate and pay respects to those that lost their lives. I'd really be into that, but not at 62. I'd be lucky if I can drive it at 62. But all right, so it looks like we're coming up on the business district. A lot of decent amount of foreign direct investment. I see overhead cranes. I see 1, 2, 3, about a half dozen overhead cranes. So they got some investment going on here, and yeah, interesting. This is like haves and have-nots, I have a feeling, which is sad. And so we'll have to do something for charity while I'm here. I'll find some sort of charitable donation or something. Right thing to do. So yeah, pretty. I don't know what they got. Okay, so we got street cleaners there. That's nice. I hope they're safe. Old-fashioned train here in the middle. Electric. Yeah, old-fashioned. I haven't seen one of those in a while. Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Old-fashioned train. How about that? So yeah, all the deliveries are alive and well. I've already seen the food deliveries. Oh, here comes the traffic. That's not good. Yeah, this is not good at all. So, welcome to Manila. At least I got a fixed rate. There's some skyscrapers out here. Guadalupe ferry station. I suspect I could probably take the ferry to Bataan. I was thinking about doing that. He says the rate was 6,200 peso. 6,200, is it peso? What's the currency? Peso, okay. So 6,200 peso. So that's a little over $100, I think. Yeah, I think it's 120. I'm doing this off the top of my head. But I think it's like 120. I think it's like 50 and change peso to the dollar. So yeah, I'm glad I'm not on the meter, because this is not good. But I'm in no hurry. I just got in. There's a little promenade area. First impressions. You know what? It's okay. I suspect the business district is a lot different than this, because this is in need of brushing and refurbishment. So yeah, pretty interesting. It sort of reminds me, in a strange way, of Thailand, but Thailand's a lot more advanced than just the infrastructure. So there's the train. You can see the electric. Kind of interesting. Yeah, the infrastructure is a lot more advanced. But when you get on the outskirts of Thailand, especially Bangkok, that's what this reminds me of. The outskirts of Bangkok. So anyway, yeah, that's what this reminds me of. You go out, yeah, definitely the outskirts of Bangkok. That's what this reminds me of a little bit. Infrastructure's not quite there yet. It's interesting. Even when they build something new, it's hard to distinguish. Is it new? Is it new, or is it? Are they building it up or tearing it down? It's just kind of an impression, because everything looks, even the new stuff that's going up, I'm looking at it and it just doesn't look. It's definitely not Japanese standard. But I mean, look there. You can see, and that's pretty. Looking at the outside, it's already all. I don't know. Looks like the concrete's cracked. Anyway, well, I tell you, the people at the airport, though, they couldn't have been nicer. I mean, attendees everywhere, police everywhere, military everywhere. You'd think they're getting ready for a raid, because I mean, there's police all over the place. Oh, they got a Wendy's. We won't be eating that. My Wendy's days are just about over. Yeah, so anyway, I'm not, there's a Kenny Rogers Roasters chicken right there. I'll stay away from that too. You know what I need right now is I need a Starbucks. Yeah, there's the train right there. It's kind of interesting, the old electric train. So I'm in a van, obviously, going to the Marco Polo. And how far is the Marco Polo from the airport? Time? Hour?
Time maybe, like this traffic situation, maybe around 40 to 45 minutes.
Oh, okay. What's your name?
Florence, sir.
Florence?
Yes, sir.
That's a nice name.
Thank you very much, sir.
Nice to meet you. It's Florence, my taxi driver. Florence, I appreciate it, brother. It's too bad you can't go to Bataan. I take you. Give you a good tip. Florence said he was busy, so he couldn't go. I'd give you a good tip. Trade off with somebody. You go, you wait for me, and we come back. Both ways.
Today, sir?
No, Thursday.
On Thursday.
Trying to make a deal with Florence here. Anyway. I got to go same day. 5 a.m. we leave, come back around 2.
2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, I got an appointment there. Audit.
In Maribela, sir?
Yeah. If we leave at 5, we'll be there at 8, right?
I have to check it first if I...
No, I'm saying if I leave the Marco Polo at 5 a.m., I should easily be there by 8 a.m., right? Because no traffic.
Maybe, sir. We cannot say... maybe from 5 o'clock till... Maybe, sir. You can.
Yeah. So I figured I'd leave at 5 a.m. before traffic, you know? Anyway, so that's the deal. I gotta find a way to get to Bataan from Manila. I may just take the train or I could take the boat too, right? The ferry.
I think it's better to have a land by land, sir.
Oh, by land? Why is that?
By also Marco Polo can also maybe coordinate you a transfer going to,
Right. But what's wrong with the ferry?
I think ferry is not available going to Bataan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I read that it. Well, you may be right. I don't live here. You do. I read online that there was a ferry, but maybe you're right. Maybe it's not operable or whatever.
Yeah.
Man, it probably doesn't go at 5 in the morning.
Sir, better maybe.
Yeah, I'll have the concierge call. Anyway, so that's the deal. We're gonna have to get a ferry or a. We got people peddling stuff here. What's he peddling? Water. I don't need any water. We got another guy peddling something up here. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know, man. It's a little dodgy. It's a little dodgy. A little sketchy. We've had some problems here recently. You definitely don't want to go in the southern part of the Philippines. If you do that, you're likely not to come back. Especially if you look like me. So I'm just gonna hang out. I'm gonna hang out at the hotel. Maybe go and buy my wife, Michelle, a little souvenir from the Philippines. But other than that, all right, we'll check in version 2. So first impressions, you know what? Be thankful for what you have. That's what this has taught me. Being out away from the U.S. is be thankful for what you have. Because you know what? When I'm having a bad day and want to go home early, I don't do that anymore. This experience has taught me quite a bit. So yeah, you gut it up and you make it happen. This place is pretty mall crazy from what I read too. They got malls everywhere. There's another mall. So we probably passed 4 malls now. Gap, Old Navy. This is the Shang Place on Shaw Boulevard. The Shang Place on Shaw. Big ass mall. Big old mall. Yeah, it's a big mall. Look at that thing. There's a Pizza Hut. It's the last thing I want to see is American food. I want to try some Filipino food. What's the best dish most popular dish in Philippines to eat? Don't say fish.
Pork. Adobo.
Pork elbow. Adobo.
Yes, sir.
Really good, huh?
Yes.
Who's got the best adobo?
Maybe all the Filipinos have different tastes. Maybe something sweet. Something,
So adobo. Pork, right?
Yeah. Pork.
Is that like a pork knuckle? Like a pork knuckle, pork leg?
Yes, sir.
That's what I thought. You know what? I've never had it, but it sounds like that's how that would be. Anyway, here's another mall. Honestly. What's this one called? Concentrics. That's another mall. Yeah, this place is mall crazy. And then there's one up here on the right, or on the left. Yeah. Anyway. So here we are. Traffic. And what is it? It's a little after 2 o'clock. Stevie just got here into Manila. And look at the size of that thing. They got a big old screen up there with a big old shark. That big fish swallow you whole. Look at this guy playing chicken with a Range Rover. All right, well, we'll check in later. This is more of the same, and it looks like it's just going to be backed up. So we'll let everybody go. Philippines, October 17th, Monday, just arrived. Manila, here on business. thought I'd give a little sneaky peek on the way in. You know what? Be thankful for what you have, folk. Look at these old buses. Those are kind of cool. I like those. They look like something out of India. They look like the old Ambassador cars, only made into a bus. Anyway, all right, gotta go. Check in a bit.